Most ab workouts are a complete waste of time. You don't need 10 different exercises, fancy machines, or endless circuit workouts. If your goal is pure hypertrophy, building thick, aesthetic abs that pop even at a slightly higher body fat percentage, these are the only two exercises you'll ever need. So let's break it down. Decline weighted crunch with a back arcing full stretch at bottom. The primary target of this exercise is the upper and mid fibers of your abs. Here's why it's so good for hypertrophy. The actual function of your abs is spinal flexion, that is bending your spine. This movement directly contracts the abs instead of relying on your hip flexors. This movement also allows for a full range of motion and puts you into a loaded stretch, which maximizes tension when the abs are lengthened. This is very important for muscle growth because we have enough scientific evidence to say that putting maximum tension in the stretched position leads to better gains. Another reason why this is a very useful exercise is because it is progressive overload friendly. You can hold a plate or a dumbbell on your chest or behind your head and slowly increase the load just like you would for any other muscle in the body. Let me break down the form step by step for you so you don't mess it up and get the best results. Use a decline bench set at approximately 30 to 45 degrees. Secure your feet, lie back so your lower back arches slightly at the bottom. Make sure you reach this position in every rep because this is your stretched position. You can't afford to skip this. Hold a plate or a dumbbell on your chest to begin, then eventually, as you get stronger, move it behind your head for more resistance and tension in the lengthened range. Now here's how to execute the movement. Initiate with spinal flexion, not just bringing your torso up. Imagine curling your spine. Only try to touch your entire spine to the bench. You don't need to sit up straight upright. That uses much more of your hip flexors. Just focus on bending your spine. Always exhale as you crunch. Always descend slowly and under control and reach the fully stretched state on every single rep. Arc your back such that your spine or the area between the lower back and upper back isn't touching the bench. Let your abs stretch fully at the bottom because you want to feel that deep burning stretch down there. And obviously, don't swing the weight or use momentum. Keep your neck neutral. Your chin should be slightly tucked and don't crank your neck forward. Personally, I do 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps, then progressing by either straightening my arms more or simply taking a slightly heavier dumbbell. You need to make sure that you fail in that rep range just like any other hypertrophy set. Don't consider abs like some different muscle that requires some different techniques to grow. Treat it like any other muscle of the body. This movement alone, if done properly, gives you all the stimulus you need for your upper abs. Next, the second and final ab exercise you'll ever need for maximum hypertrophy is the decline leg raises with only your upper back in contact with the bench at the top. Okay, I know that sounds big, but let me explain. The primary target of this exercise are the lower fibers of your abs, plus a little bit of your hip flexors for abdominal stabilization. This, in my opinion, is an elite ab exercise because it perfectly matches the criteria for stretch-mediated hypertrophy and keeps maximum tension where it matters the most, that is the stretched position. Let me tell you why this variation is superior than other lower ab exercises like the hanging leg raise. Well, the reason is simple. It's because it provides a top-tier stretch tension. Unlike hanging leg raises where your legs are just vertical in the stretch with no direct tension on them, here your legs are horizontal to the floor in the bottom position. This creates a longer moment arm, meaning more constant tension on your abs right where it matters. Only upper back touching the bench means hips are off the bench. This means complete vertical spinal flexion, which is the real function of your abs. Let me give you the form breakdown step by step of how I do it. Set a decline bench at 30 to 45 degrees. Lie down with something to hold over your head. Start with legs pointing down nearly parallel to the bench. Now to execute it properly, first begin by bracing your core and keeping your lower back gently pressed into the bench. Second, raise your legs slowly and curl your pelvis upward at the top. This is the most important part for activating the lower abs. Don't just raise your legs up and down. You need to lift your entire hips off the bench and only let your upper back be in touch with the bench. Control the descent on every single rep. Let your legs go back down until they're about horizontal to the floor to create that long lever that gives you more tension. And at the top, don't relax. Keep your core braced and avoid arcing your lower back excessively. Pause briefly, then repeat. Every single rep should feel super difficult at the bottom and easier as you go up. This is exactly what we want for maximum muscle growth. So the final combo summary is start with decline weighted crunch for your upper and middle abs, then move on to decline leg raises for your lower abs. You can also do decline leg raises first if your focus is to grow your lower abs. This duo trains both halves of the rectus abdominis with full control, full range of motion and optimal stretch tension. No fancy variations, just science-backed, brutally effective hypertrophy work. If you found this video helpful, do leave a like and share it with your gym bro so you can do these together. Hope you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more.